Just the process of getting live, that's all. Yes. It's taking a little time. We have today Venkatesh Prabhuji and Prabha Mataji. Can we confirm?
Yes, Namaste Guruji.
Namaste, namaste, namaste. I think I have not seen you before, so therefore
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Namaste. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's start. Let me share my
Yes.
screen. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। हे कृष्णकरुणासिन्धो दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Just Punella Mata, just once more, please confirm if voice is okay, uh, slide is okay, and video is okay. Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Punella Mata ji?
Yes,
Am I
Prabhuji.
audible? So screen is visible
Yes, yes.
and uh, video is also visible.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's start. So this is Karma Yoga, yoga of action and work in Krishna consciousness. So, in the 18 days, we talked about various karmas. So, what are the various kind of karmas that we talked so far in the 18 days? Hare Krishna. One is normal karma, that can be fruitive karma, maybe with respect to good deeds resulting into good results, bad deeds resulting into bad results. So that can be karma. Then the second could be big karma, which is against the prescribed duties, against the scripture, and the akarma. Akarma is where the main emphasis is there in this. Buddhi yoga is ultimately akarma. So let's just delve into the chapter. What are the sections? Let's look at. So this is all based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Sri Prabhupada ki Jai, and humble obeisance to Sri Radha Govinda. Hare Krishna. So this is how the flow of the chapters was. The first chapter was on the observing of the armies, and then ultimately there's a despondency of Arjuna, and then the various reasons that he gave to Krishna. We know all the reasons. So first four reasons in the first chapter, then followed by the last region, that is indecision, in second chapter in 2.6, because from 1 to 6 also in the chapter 2, again he continued his further building of the arguments that why he should not fight. So The first reason, four reasons were compassion, no enjoyment, destruction of family tradition, and then, of course, the sinful reactions. Then he continued with indecision, yadva jayama, yadva jayayuhu, what is better for me, to fight or not to fight. I'm indecisive. And then he surrenders. Karpanna dosha pada sabhav. Then whichever is shreya for me, yes, shreya shat nishchitam bruhitam me. With that, he surrenders, and then Krishna starts instructing him. So the instruction went from 11 to 30. That is the full jnana and the full knowledge of the soul. The soul is indestructible. Uh, and न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे अजो अयम
Jayate
पुराणो
Mriyate.
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित नान्यं भुक्ता भविता न भूय. All these were discussed, and then uh, after that, however, he further explained from 31 to 38 about the karma kanda, in the sense that if you even do not believe this, that is the concept of soul, even if for a moment you do not believe, then also what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to do your prescribed duty as per your varna and ashrama. And what is your varna and what is your ashrama? You are a grihastha, and what is your varna? You are kshatriya. In both the cases, as a grihastha, you are supposed to do as per the prescribed duties. So, what is your prescribed duty? Your prescribed duty is to fight. So, fight, because only by fighting you will, you know, be out of the sins. Otherwise, you will gain further sins if you do not fight, rather against the logic. So, and after that, here comes the main twist. From 3.9 to 5.3, something where Krishna took Arjuna to a different level of buddhi yoga, that is niskama karma. So there the main doubt again comes with Arjuna, because he said that you please be in the buddhi yoga, fight but without any reaction. So sarvesu kalesu manusmara yuddhasva, and do not labha labho jaya jayo, nothing you should think about, just uh, you know uh, be my instrument. So all that he has said. So that created the confusion in Arjuna, that what is better than, should I be the Sita Prajna and absolutely meditate on Krishna? And then if I'm supposed to do that as part of the Buddhi Yoga, then why again he's saying me, Krishna, why are you telling me that I should fight? If I'm supposed to fix my mind on you, then let me not fight. So thereby his further doubts on 3.1 to 3.9 in this chapter, his confusion whether I should go to the forest, I should meditate, do Ashtanga yoga, whatever is there required. I'll do all this, and or I'll do Niskama karma also. Sorry, but which is better? Because you were saying on one side you were saying Buddhi yoga is better, on other side you were also saying that renunciation is also better. So which I should do? Then and Krishna's answers are coming. So slowly from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. Then in the section she, from 17 to 35, this is Niskama Karma, acting dutifully with detachment to set the correct example. This is most important. You are supposed to fight for the sake of fighting, just because you are the leader and you are supposed to set the example. So in any case, no one for that matter, in any soul it has to do some action. And as per the Parana Ashram, so you are supposed to do that. But there is a way out, and the way out is that if you do Niskama Karma, then it will not bind you. So with that, it comes to the D, where the lust and anger are supposed to be the enemies. In fact, on the subsequent chapter, we know that lust, anger, and greed are the doors to hell. So let's now deal with 3.1 to 3.9, and how Krishna is, generally it looks like the someone who asks that should I meditate? Should I go, do the Buddhi Yoga? Should I do the Ashtanga Yoga? Why not? And that too with the kind of, you know, the kind of power, willpower, because he has not his archery and everything that he has acquired, it requires tremendous of willpower. So even with that, Arjuna says that I am not able to do, and when he says I am not able to do, that Krishna is supporting. He's saying, yes, you're right. This is not so easy. This is rather better. So he's going to say all this. So 1 to 2, Arjuna confusion that what should I do, Krishna? Should I renounce or I fight? Because you are doing, you are equivocal. You are saying this and that, but tell me one, ekam vada, he is saying, just one, tell me which one I should do. So based on his question, now he will be answering from 3 to 16 that renunciation is difficult. So both Arjuna and Krishna, they both of them finally decided that this is what is in fact difficult even in the age of Dwapara. Forget about Kali. Even in the age of Dwapara, even with the person like Arjuna, it is difficult. So prescribed action with detachment, niskama karma is better for Arjuna. One should go for karma kanda to karma yoga. Karma kanda, when he thinks that okay, if he, when Krishna was explaining that if you fight and if you win, then you will win the kingdom, then you will enjoy. And if you do not, if you are killed, then also you will go to heaven. In any case, you will enjoy. So that was the kind of part of the karma kanda part. That yes, that was a way of convincing him that through karma kanda system that yeah, please fight. But that was only for the convincing that please fight. But what he's supposed to do now, he's saying that you should actually go for karma yoga and not for karma kanda at all. Because karma yoga, once you do, then it will not bind you. And then also you will be in the Krishna consciousness and you will come to my abode. 17 to 35, even if Arjuna is qualified for renunciation, he should still do niskama karma. To set right example, we talked about that. And the last was about the last, how formidable enemy it is in the path of yoga, and what are the various ways to conquer lust, and what are the ways in the spiritual intelligence that can be used. So now he's asking this on the left hand side, should I meditate, do you know go to forest, or I should work, fight this way or that way? Ekam vada, which one? We know about Hanuman. He was absolutely in the 100% Krishna conscious, 100% he was doing the carrying out the duties of Rama as an instrument. So we may not be, such level, we may not achieve such level, but those are the rare examples where the Hanuman becomes the instrument of Rama, absolutely. So he doesn't have any kind of ego or any kind of pride that yes, I burnt Lanka or something of that sort. Not at all. That is, if you ask Hanuman what has happened, oh, it has happened. I mean, just because I was an instrument and I was doing my Prabhu's duty. So now let's look at connection between chapter 2 and 3. So what has happened that suddenly Arjuna asked that why are you, Krishna, you know, engaging me into the ghastly warfare, whereas you are saying that Buddhi Yoga is better. To think about it, Manmanava Mad Bhakta, which will come later on, if that is better, and you have not yet said, Krishna has yet not said that Sarvesu Kalesu Ma Manusmara Yuddhascha. That statement has not come yet. So therefore, before that statement, now he is saying that why you are engaging me with this ghastly warfare. So where from it is coming exactly? So let us look at what was the previous verse. If you look at, then we can connect. So let us look at that verse first. This was the verse. The verse was 2.49, where Krishna says, Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya budhau sharanam Anvicha, Kripanaha Phala Hetavaha, O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that conscious surrender unto the Lord, Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. So in the last statement, it is coming out that, okay, fine, in that case, I'll be, fighting is an abominable activity. So I should keep myself distance from the fighting and I'll be in the Krishna consciousness. So because of this particular verse, Arjuna is saying this. Jayasi chet karma, Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojoyasi kesava. That is the reason why he's saying that. He's saying, "Oh Janardana, oh Kesava." He always used this beautiful addressals to Krishna whenever he is in doubt. Why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruity work? So what does now Krishna says? Buddhi yoga, bhakti yoga, Krishna, Buddhi yoga and bhakti yoga and Krishna consciousness all are same. So there should not be any doubt in our minds that Buddhi yoga is something different, Bhakti yoga is something different, Krishna consciousness is something different. No, not at all. Everything Buddhi yoga also means Bhakti yoga also means Krishna. Being in Krishna consciousness is nothing but Buddhi yoga. And sometimes it is understood as an inertia. Means, the person will be just, will not be doing anything. He will be sitting still. And so people will think that he's a uh, it's kind of a, what is it called? The plant which is depends on the other plant. What is that? Parasite. So he's a
Parasite.
parasite. So people will think like that. But however, that's not what Prabhupada says. And the beautifully that he has said, he has translated as what? He has translated bhakti in English as devotional service, not as devotion. If you go to dictionary, then you will find the translation of bhakti as devotion. But he knows that action is an integral part of the soul. Without action, soul also cannot stay for a moment. So there has to be some action. So there are only two choices. Either we surrender to Maya or we surrender to Krishna. There is no other choice. S- So if that is so, then we have to be in the continuous action of Krishna consciousness. So there are many, many, many things in Krishna consciousness. There are Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, any of that, nine Navada Bhakti is there. Then there are process of deity worship and so on. I mean, it's if somebody wants, even 24 hours will be less if we start doing everything. Now, not what is important is it is not advisable without proper training. Therefore, we are talking about the evam parampara praptam rajarsha vidhu. That is there because in the parampara, whatever is there in the ladder of, let's say, first Vaidhi Bhakti, then Sadhana Bhakti, and slowly Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti, all that will happen, but it has to be in the process. It has to start with at least the Sadhana Bhakti, where there is a process that we have to chant at least, for example, in level 2, we are saying that we should chant at least for one round of 108 times Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, at least one. Then at Bhakti Sastri level, it should be minimum 16 rounds. So these are certain, we'd say, disciplining ourselves, which is a sadhana bhakti. So, but Arjuna also thought he too should, be penanceing with austerity in a secluded place. But he thought that he will do it alone, without, doing any job, and particularly because he was asked to fight. So, in a way, he tried to avoid fighting by indirectly giving the tactfully avoid fighting by saying that I'll be in Krishna consciousness. And which Krishna consciousness? The Buddhi Yoga, which told in 2.49 by Krishna. But Krishna is saying that you have not misunderstood me. That is not Krishna consciousness. It has got, it has to be, uh, for you, it is the fighting without without expecting any result is what karma yoga for you. So therefore, he is rejecting this. Lord elaborately explained that Karma Yoga or working in Krishna consciousness is the best thing. So this is how the flow has happened. So this is what Arjuna, in fact, said that my intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be the most beneficial for me. So while explaining that what is most beneficial for Arjuna, 3.3 to 3.9, Sri Krishna will tell about Niskama Karma Kanda Yoga, Niskama Karma Yoga, not Kanda. And then after that, of course, it will touch upon many other realms. So let's go to the verse. एष ते विहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्योग त्वयि इमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यय पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहस्यसि. Thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study, that is speculative knowledge. Now, listen, as I explain in the terms of working without fruitive results, that is karma yoga. And, O son of Partha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. So, this is the bondage free formula is that to be in the knowledge, and to be in the knowledge means to be in the action without thinking about its result. That is called to be in the knowledge. तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसित मत्परः वशे हि यस्य इंद्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. This was what was given in 2.61. So now he is connecting. So because it was said in 2.61, so now Krishna is saying that lokis mean trividha nishtha. Lokis mean dividha nishtha pura prukta mahanaga jnana yogana sankhyanam karma yogena yogina. So in jnana yoga, in sankhyanam jnana yoga, and in yogi and in yogi nam it is karma yoga, in the sense that what he said is that I've already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical philosophical speculation. What is that? Empirical speculation is nothing but the Sankhya Yoga, and others by devotional service, which is Karma Yoga. So that is the reason why he's saying Jnana Yoga na Sankhyana and Karma Yoga no Yogina. So what he should do? But before that, let us understand Sankhya Yoga and Karma or Buddhi Yoga are interdependent like religion and philosophy. So we all know, I mean, these are so favorite subjects. We know very much about, everyone knows about religion, everyone knows about the philosophy. So religion without philosophy is sentiment or sometimes fanaticism. And philosophy without religion is mental speculation. Because if there is no base, what is religion? In fact, religion is an English word which cannot express, in fact, the word called dharma. The Sanskrit word dharma is yat dharayati tat dharma. So what can hold is the dharma. If the base is not there, then normal philosophy will become a speculation. So ultimate goal is Krishna. So Arjuna's ultimate goal is also Krishna and understanding of self in relation to the super self. So what is the relationship with soul to the super soul is the knowledge and is the Krishna consciousness. So, and there is nothing more than that in religion. So, for example, Vedesha Sarve Aham Vidya, in the entire and what is there in the, they say that Anantaha by Vedaha means Vedas are infinite at one point of time. Later on, it made to finite, at least for human understanding. But this statement is also there already in the Vedas. The Vedaha Anantaha vai Veda. In that infinite number of Vedas, what is to be known is Krishna. Because Veda is Sarva is Amava Vidya. If that is so, then why I should not know directly and go through such a circuitous path? There is no point. So devotional service directly connects everything with Krishna, with Krishna, and it is so direct, right? Patram puspam phalam toyam, so direct. Manamana mad bhakto. Everything is so direct. Path of Krishna consciousness, and we can engage also all our senses. Path of Krishna consciousness is better, does not depend on purifying the senses as in Shastras. Krishna consciousness is itself the purifying process. Why it is purifying process? Because we are engaging our senses, which in any case would become bondage otherwise. If we use it for anything other than sacrifice towards Vishnu or Krishna, then it becomes bondage. However, when we are engaging for service of the Krishna, for tasting the prasada, for making the prasada, for seeing his beautiful face, for making his garland, whatever we're doing, that becomes bondage free. So now next, okay, that we know mostly. What is religion and what is philosophy, we already discussed. Okay, so difference between Sankhya Yoga and Buddhi Yoga. So what, I mean, when we started off chapter 2, we said that chapter 2 is also called Sankhya Yoga. But Prabhupada beautifully says it is a summary of the essence of Gita, in fact, because everything is there. So Sankhya is a very, very indirect path, dependence on personal endeavor. Why? Why dependence on personal endeavor? Because yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, Ashtanga yoga. So yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, maybe if somebody doesn't do well with yama and niyama, he even cannot go to the point of asana. We are doing so many, yoga day and we're doing asanas and all that. But as per Ashtanga yoga, the method, unless one is perfect with yama and niyama, he is not supposed to go to the stage of asana. So it may so happen that the endeavor will not result into third or fourth stage. The eighth stage is samadhi. And after that only there is a chance that they have a direct experience with Krishna. So therefore it is said that Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlavaha Bahunam. So this Jnani Ashtanga Yogi guys will get at some point of time, but how many births we don't know. Unsure of success. And initial purification process will take so much of endeavor. Whereas this Buddhi Yoga, Krishna consciousness is so direct. Patram puspam phalam toyam. So simple. Yame bhaktya prayachati tadam bhaktya upuratam sna vipratatmana. Dependence on Krishna's mercy. So Kripa Siddha also is possible, not based on some endeavor. It is purely on Krishna, and then we know that surety of success is there. Why surety of success is there? Because we know in our parampara that so many acharyas, so many devotees have already had the direct perception of Krishna. Direct, Prabhupada. We can start with Prabhupada. We can then go back to his guru, Bhakti Vedanta Saraswati, his guru, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and ultimately Sri Chaitanya uh, Deva, Mahaprabhu. So everyone is experienced, and we can go up to Prahlad Maharaj I mean we can go till Narada, we can go, and then of course it ends with Krishna. So surety of success, ends and means are the same. Ends and means are the same. Why? Because the end is Krishna. And what is the means? Means is chanting Hare Krishna. Both are the same. So beautiful. Hare Krishna. So nahi kaschit khanam api jato tistat akarma krit karyate karyat hi avashah karma sarva prakriti jair gunaihi. Everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. Yes, it is. It's quite obvious. We cannot even live for a moment without doing anything. If not anything, then at least the inhaling and exhaling is happening. So it's just not possible to sit idle. And what about not fighting? Embodied spirit soul always active, and therefore pushes the encasing body also into constant activity. So if these two are happening, then where is the question of being idle, or where the question of trying to meditate and doing all this. So engaging Krishna consciousness is better than being dictated by the illusory energy, because there are only two choices. By default, there will be two things. If we are not consciously Krishna conscious, I repeat, if you are not consciously Krishna conscious, the stage of prema will be there where you are automatically Krishna conscious all the time, 24 by 7. In the Bhava Bhakti, whenever we see, whenever we read, whenever we listen, the devotee went into the Bhava. But in the Sadhana Bhakti, we are regulated in a regulated way we're doing. We're chanting in a particular time, we're reading scripture in a particular time, we're reading Prabhupada's book in certain time, attending aartis. All these regulated things are going on so that by default, this process is purifying. It's a purificatory process so that we're eligible for the next stage and ultimately the quickest way of achieving Krishna. The most quickest way. Prabhupada says that some devotee asked him, how much time, Prabhupada, how much time it will take for me to reach Krishna? He said, no, in this moment itself, you can. So that's I think no other process is so easy. So respite only through purificatory process given in the Shastras. In Krishna consciousness, no purification required, as it is itself is purificatory. That's what we said. So this is the analogy of text 5. We can see. So there are three, uh, we can say three situations, or we can understand by two situations also. One is that being active is the nature of the soul, and therefore it needs some engagement. So what is the various engagements we can give? One is that it can engage to the material nature and thereby, get encased with the illusory energy or the Maya energy of Krishna. And then, of course, go to the branch after branch after branch, and all this entire cycle of things will go on. Other thing is to engage in Krishna consciousness. So there is no loss, even if there is a fall down. And what is that? And what is that verse? There is no loss even if there is a fall down. Anyone who remembers the verse? Hare Krishna. Anyone who remembers the verse? There is no loss even if there is a fall down. Okay, I'll tell the second verse. Second part is Swalpam apesya dharmasya trayate mahatabhayat. What is the first? Swalpam api asya dharmasya trayate mahatabhayat. There is a first one. Leha vikrama nasosti pratyavana vidyate. That is what it is. Then prescribed duties and second way would be that based on the nature, then they do their prescribed duties recommended in the Shastra as per the Varna and Ashrama, and slowly purify. So that's the slow and steady process, and ultimately leads to Krishna consciousness. That is slow and steady process. And there's a right is the slow and steady process, left is the quickest process. And we know कर्म इंद्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इंद्रियार्थन विमूढ़ात्मा मिथ्याचारः स उच्यते मिथ्याचारः सः उच्यते. He is told as a mithyachari. Who is a mithyachari? Like this renunciate with a cigarette in hand and a mobile in hand and engaged in with sense, gratification. But then he has left his home. He has left everything. What is happening is he has just left some of the uh, objects, but his mind is still dwelling. So therefore, Krishna talks about rather tyaga than renunciation. And what is tyaga? Tyaga is to renounce the result of the action. One who restrains the senses of action but whose mind dwells on sense objects certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. So they are called a Falgu Bairagi or Markata Bairagi, whatever you name it. And this is what Krishna doesn't want. He doesn't want artificial renunciation. He doesn't want Arjuna to be an artificial renunciate and then go to forest. Rather, he should do fight. So, yastvi indriyani manasa nyamya arabhate arjuna karmayendrehi karma yogam asaktaha sa vishishyate. On the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by the mind and begins karma yoga is in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. So he's saying that this is far superior than the person who tries to just leave the normal life, family life, goes to the forest, away from the sense objects, but however his mind still dwells. With respect to that person, this person is better or superior. On the right hand side, when an example, he is King Pratap Rudra, Deva of Odisha, who is a king, but then we can see that the humility with which he is doing the service to Krishna or Jagannath here. So prime Swartha Gati or goal of self-interest is to reach Vishnu. Entire institution of Varna and Ashram designed to reach this goal of life, reached by members of every ashrama and Varna through service in Krishna consciousness. So this third line is very important. It is not that only one Varna or one ashrama will, is more eligible. Any Varna and any ashrama can lead to Krishna consciousness. In Brahmacharya ashrama also, if Sudra is there, let's say, I mean, any combination. This 4 by 4 matrix combination. So, 4 Varnas and 4 ashramas. If you take any one-to-one combination, any combination can go to have the Krishna consciousness. And of course, the Mithyacharis, potential exhibitions are detrimental in achieving the goal. That goes without saying. So, these are the three cases in our understanding. So, one is a pretender, the sadhu that with the cigarette and maybe alcohol also, we don't know. It is not seen on the picture. So what he is doing? So he's simply making a show off, some kind of deep meditation he will show. But after the meditation or even during the meditation, again his mind will be dwelling upon some of the sense perceptions which he had, the taste which he had done before, because he is not trying to engage his senses in a yukta vairagya, which is easier. So mind dwells in sense objects. So his philosophy has no value. So knowledge stolen by illusory energy. So he's completely now devastated. In the second case, what happens? Second case, there is a success, no doubt. What he does, is he does as per the ashrama. So he slowly from brahmacharya asrama to grihastha asrama to vanapasa asrama to sannyasa, and then follow all the rules and regulations, and thereby there is a gradual purification process, and thereby ultimately goes to the platform of knowledge. But a sincere person who Krishna says as the superior, he is able to control his senses, he is able to control his mind, and controlling by how he is controlling, by engaging in Krishna consciousness. So he is far superior. नियतं कुरु कर्मं तं कर्मज्यायो हि अकर्मणः शरीरायात्रापि च तेन प्रसिद्धे यद कर्मणः. Perform your prescribed duty. For doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. We cannot even maintain our physical body without our work. So it is therefore it's better for you to fight. Krishna did not want Arjuna to become pretender like that of the sadhu that we have seen. The Lord emphasizes on the performance of one's prescribed duties, being Grihastha and Kshatriya. So he is a Grihastha as well as he is a Kshatriya. So therefore, he is advised to perform his duties. And what is his duty? He is a Kshatriya, so his duty is to fighting. Such performance would gradually cleanse his heart and free from material contamination. So-called renunciation of activity never approved by Lord nor by any religious scripture. Some work has to be performed to maintain one's body and soul, and therefore materialistic propensity need to be purified. And before purification, if you go to Ashtanga yoga or any kind of that system, then there will be a downfall. So lording over material nature is an impurity that has to be cleared by doing prescribed duties. I think this is a beautiful line. And without doing so, renouncing work and living at the cost of others cannot confer one transcendentality. So what does this text say now? This particular verse 8, but performing prescribed duties is better than not working. Why? Because if you are doing prescribed duties, like in case of Arjuna, his you know, what is his ashrama? His ashrama is Grahastha ashrama, and what is his varna? His varna is Kshatriya. So based on this, he should engage in fighting, not in renunciation. So this is his prescribed duty. And by performing this, there will be a gradual purification process. Now I was trying to find the print paint. Yeah, it's there. Pointer. Yeah. So there will be gradual purification of heart. So work should not be given up capriciously without purification of material propensities. So what is yajna? Yajna means sacrifice. And no one can live without sacrifice. And what would yajna mean? It is sacrifice for whom? It is sacrifice. Every sacrifice is supposed to be for Krishna or Vishnu. Because there are many evidences in the Shastras. All sacrifices are supposed to be for Vishnu. Yajna vai Vishnu, who that is in Vedas. Then performance of yajna and serving Lord Vishnu directly serve the same purpose. Both are working in Krishna consciousness. The Varnashrama institution also aims at certifying Lord Vishnu. Varnasramacharyavata Purushena Paraha Puman Vishnur Aradhyate. Vishnu Purana 3.8.8 it says that the living entity is supposed to do sacrifice, and the sacrifice is meant for Krishna. Sense gratifying work done in this material world is a cause of bondage. So it's very, very clear that if you're thinking we are the enjoyer, that's completely wrong. Even if we have done a lot of good deeds, we go to Swarga or wherever, we think we're enjoying, but if that is so, then we should be enjoying eternally. But we're not doing so. We're not able to do so. So therefore, the enjoyment, therefore, it is told that enjoyment is false. It is not that it is false, it is temporary. And we're not supposed to enjoy, and therefore we're not supposed to enjoy. So who is the enjoyer? Purusha is supposed to be the enjoyer. In fact, the meaning of Purusha is enjoyer. So working in Krishna consciousness liberates one, gradually elevating him to God's kingdom, diligently done under the expert guidance of devotee of Lord Krishna. Who is the expert guidance? Acharya or our Guru in the Parampara, directly under the Lord himself in most desirable. Arjuna was most fortunate to have such an opportunity because his Guru is no other than Krishna. Yagyar, yag, yag, यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणो अन्यत्र अन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संगः समाचरः. So mukta sangha, how you will achieve. So mukta sangha will be achieved by work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. So if we are not doing anything for his satisfaction, let's say we say that we are in Krishna consciousness. We do the sadhana bhakti, we attend classes, we do deity worship, all this we are doing. We are making prasadam, offering prasadam, we are making bhoga, offering prasadam. Uh, Patra Puspam is already there, trying to be Manvana Bhava, all this we are doing. But the point is, are we asking this question that is Krishna satisfied? Are you satisfied, Krishna? If this hankering is not there, are you satisfied with today? Are you satisfied, Krishna? With the kind of worship, whatever I have done, are you satisfied? If this thought is not there, then it is not going towards the right direction of bhakti. I mean, let us forget about Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti, which are the highest. Even in the sadhana bhakti also, this is the first step. That are we satisfying? On the right hand side, what has happened? There is a Rajasuya Yajna, which is a sacrifice. So in the Rajasuya Yajna, there was a discussion going on that who should be worshipped. That means who to be given the sacrifice, so to say. Then Narada said, yes, no other than Krishna. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam, sarvaloka maheshwaram, suhrudam sarvabhutanam, jnatva mam santirvachati. Section 3, 3.10, 3.6 from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. If a person is too attached, see, this is very important. Why at all Karma Kanda has come into picture? This question must be coming to our mind. That if Krishna consciousness is so easy and such a beautiful process, which is already known, then who has invented all this and why they have invented and why they have told that first of all, why these processes are there in the first place? And why Astanga such difficult, paths are there? Why Karma Kanda is there, which takes Bahunam, Janmanam, Ante? Why Krishna consciousness is not given, to everyone? And just, let's say Shastra would have said, just imagine, the Shastra would have said that everything else is not supposed to be done, only go for Krishna consciousness. But this is not what is being done. In Shastra also it talks about prescribed duties, etc. Because of only one thing. A person is too attached to material life and cannot perform niskama karma. This line is very important. Just let us remember this. If a person is too attached to material life and cannot perform niskama karma yoga, for them Krishna describes the yoga ladder from lowest rank to the gradual moving higher, because they cannot do niskama karma from the beginning. They may not have, first of all, to be in the Krishna consciousness, one has to be in the sattva guna minimum. Suddha sattva is next, but the minimum is sattva guna. If this is not there, then it is just not possible. So therefore, he is prescribing, okay, fine, karma kanda to karma yoga. Start with karma kanda. But Srila Prabhupada ends all the purports in section that in Kali Yuga, the only sacrifice, yajnanam japajoggasmi, Sankirtana yajna is the only sacrifice which is applicable for Kali Yuga. So work performed for the satisfaction of Krishna doesn't bind and it is liberating. And one must act under any spiritual master, the guru, and thereby gradually elevate and develop transcendental loving service of Lord. So slowly the test develops in the sadhana bhakti, then slowly and steadily we move into the Krishna and go back to Godhead. However, otherwise what happens? If we do not do this, then what happens? Then it goes for the bondage, because then in that case we'll be doing good deed, bad deed, this and that, get engaged, fruity results. So sense gratification, good action, bad action, and cycle birth and death will go on. Who wants it? Nobody wants it. See, the irony is, no, everybody wants on the right side. Nobody wants the left side. But very few are on the right side. Hare Krishna. So this is the yoga ladder. So animal life is what? Eating, sleeping, mating, depending, and nothing else. From there, at least one elevate to a karma kanda. Okay, some prescribed duties are there. There is some sacrifice, some penance, some charity, right? So there is some sakama karma starts. So fruits of action start. From there, niskama karma. While doing niskama karma, he or she, comes across so much of scripture, so many sadhus, and then get the proper jnana. And from that jnana, he knows about Ashtanga yoga, goes for the practice, go to the forest, does the thing. He might be bewildered in at some one particular step. Might not complete the entire eight. Might drop at level 6. So if he drops in level 6, then Krishna says that, okay, no problem. If you die at level 6, then you will again start from level 6. That assurance is there. But maybe in the next birth, he starts with level 6, but stays in level 6 and doesn't go to 7. That may also happen. So therefore, Bahunam Janmanamante. And after that, Bhakti Yoga. So Jnana Yoga is like a sunshine, which we compare with the Brahman. Ashtanga Yoga, they have the Paramatma realization, which is like a sun disk. Bhakti Yoga, of course, enters this equivalent to entering into the sun planet. That's the uh, you can say the comparison. Yeah. And what happens in animal life in this stage, in the progressive ladder, this is what happens. Sense gratification, regulate sense gratification, devotee with self desire, devotee with no desire. This is what happens. And if we compare this with let's say with an elevator, then straight away from sadhana bhakti you go to bhava bhakti to prema bhakti, because it starts with surrender. So our Krishna consciousness start, the first point is surrender. So therefore it is a lift. Otherwise, the progressive yoga ladder, to reach to the prema bhakti, it takes so much of time. And extended yoga, of course, through eh, the process of Ashtanga yoga might take a lot of time. Sahayagya prajaha srishtaha purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishwadham mesavasvi ishta karmadhuk kamadhuk. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna, sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation." So sacrifice is important. Everyone is sacrificing in this nature. Annat bhavanti bhutani parjanat anna sambhavaha yagyat bhavanti parjanyo yajna karma samudbhavaha. That is the cycle of sacrifice. So Lord has been, addressed as Prajapati, who is master of all. He is the Lord of all living creatures, all worlds, and all beauties, protector of everyone. He created this material world to enable conditioned soul to learn how to perform yajna, also called Yajnapati. So yajna satisfied for all the sacrifices are for Lord Vishnu. So all that is there. So therefore, in this age of Kali, the only yajna, the only sacrifice is the Japa Yajna and the Sankirtana Yajna. So Lord wants the living entities to understand two things. One, Vedaisha Sarvai Ahame Vidya. The Lord says purpose of the Vedas is to understand me. To understand me is what? To become Krishna consciousness. Nothing else. And Patim Viswasya Atma Swaram. The Lord of the living entities is the Supreme Person of Godhead, Vishnu. This is what He wants all the living entities to understand. देवान् भाव यतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु द्वः परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परम् avapshatah. The demigods being pleased by the sacrifices will also please you, and thus by cooperation between man and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. This is what the Shastra prescribes, that there has to be a cooperation between demigods. So demigods are various given various charges. Some are given the charge of rain, the fire, and so on and so forth, wealth. So if there is a good cooperation between the living entities and the devas, then they will please and things will be good. But who are demigods? Demigods are the empowered administrators of material affairs, supply air, light, water, etc. They reside in different parts of the body of the Supreme Personality of God. They are all there again. They are subservients. Please displeased by the performance of non-performance of yajnas, specific yajnas for specific demigods, people do. However, Lord Vishnu is the chief beneficiary. We have all understood this. Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam, Sarvalokamaheshwaram. But most important point of this verse is that sacrifice is important. Without sacrifice, we cannot move. So what happens? Yajnas, let's say, how do we sacrifice or sanctify our eatables. The sanctified foodstuffs purify one's very existence. We offer, and therefore a devotee never takes anything. He's not supposed to take, any food outside, inside, whatever it is, unless it is a prasadam. And thereby, what happens by taking prasadam? Finer tissues in the memory become sanctified. And when memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation. And all this combined together lead to Krishna consciousness. The food is very, very important for Suddhi. This is the cycle of sacrifice. Lord is the Sarve Vedanta Krut Videva Chaham. So he is also Vedanta Krut. So he has given us the Vedas from where the knowledge comes. From the knowledge, the duty comes. So duty is, for example, is plowing the land. This is a part of this sacrifice duty. And because of that duty, what happens? Because of this sacrifice, the rain comes. And from the grain comes. From the grain, we make beautiful prasadam and then again offer to Lord. And this cycle continues. This is in the verse is called Annat Bhavanti Bhutani. This is Anna. So Annat Bhavanti Bhutani. Parjanya is the rain. So Parjanyat, Annat Bhavanti Bhutani. Parjanyat Anna Sambhava. Yagyat नहीं अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जनात् अन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवन्ति पर्जन्यो यज्ञात् means sacrifice bhavanti parjanya that is rain and yajna karma samudbhava and this sacrifice is coming from the karma or from the uh, you know the duties. Karma is nothing but duty. By performance of yajnas all activities become purified as is stated in the Vedas. By performance of yajna, one's eatables become sanctified, and by eating sanctified foodstuffs, one's very existence becomes purified. By the purification of existence, finer tissues, we already have said this, right? Now, इष्टान भोगान ही वो विदेवा दास्यन्ते यज्ञ भावितः तैर्दत्तान अप तैर्दत्तान अप्रदय दैभ्यो यु भुङ्क्ते स्तेन एव सः. In charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna, will supply all necessity to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods in turn is certainly a thief. There are two words which are used. One is that if you are not offering it to Krishna or not offering to the demigod in any case, if you are offering to demigod, ultimately it goes to Krishna. If you're not offering, then we are a thief. Point one. And point two is that if you're not offering, then we are eating nothing but sin. These two are very important. So we can understand this. All necessities of human societies are supplied by demigods. None of these can be manufactured. None of the eatables, including grain, fruit, vegetable, milk, etc., can be, uh, just manufactured because heat, light, water, etc., we cannot create. These are required for the existence. These are the simple, normal way of understanding. Without the Supreme Lord, sunlight, moonlight, rainfall, breeze, nothing is possible. Raw metals which are required, metal, sulfur, mercury, manganese, etc., also supplied by Lord's agents. Ultimate purpose of providing for everything by the Lord is to liberate the conditioned souls from the material struggle for existence. This is the most important. Those simply taking supplies from the agents of the Lord, agents means demigods, for sense gratification, that is for gratifying the tongue, for gratifying the ear, by gratifying touch, all these, then we are supposed to be the thieves because we are not offering it. Such thieves lack a goal in life and punished by the laws of material nature. So nobody can escape this punishment. And what is the punishment? Punishment is again simple recycling in the Janma, Mrityu, and Jara Vyadhi. Sankirtana Yajna performed in Krishna consciousness is the easiest of all. Ultimately, it is coming to Sankirtana Yajna and Yachap Japa Yajna. That is the most important thing. Yajna Sista Sinah Santo Muchyate Sarva Kilvishaha. Bhunjate te tvi agham papa ye pachanti atma karanat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. That's what we just discussed. What happens in for a Krishna conscious person? You can see Dandavat Pranam. This all the angas pranam. It is Sastanga pranam. Dandavat pranam. This is so it's like a danda, like a stick. Therefore, it is called a Dandavat pranam. He's worshipping and is not expecting anything, just in a devotional service. Okay. अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यात् अन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवन्ति पर्जन्यो यज्ञ कर्म समुद्भवः. All living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yajna, and yajna is born of prescribed duties. We have understood this already, right? This person is in Krishna consciousness. He has got a family. He has not gone to the forest. He has a, his wife, his child. Everybody is so happy. They're doing beautiful sankirtan and enjoying their life. And this enjoyment is a transcendental enjoyment. So the Supreme Lord is the Yajna Purusha, and he is the beneficiary of all the sacrifices, master of all the demigods. And demigods are automatically worshipped when Lord Krishna is worshipped. It is like, giving water to the roots. Separate worship of demigods not necessary. Demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna assign material affairs. Vedas direct Vedas direct sacrifices to satisfy these demigods. This so please demigods supply air, light, and water. So all this we have discussed. Okay. So I think we know about sun, that without sun we cannot live. But without moon also we cannot live because the vegetation will die. The juice of plants come from Chandra, from the moon. Okay, we have some time. Karma, karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Brahmakshara samudbhavam tasmat sarva gatam brahma nityam yajna pratishthitam. Regulated activities as prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the all pervading transcendence is eternally situated in acts of sacrifice. So, which one is this? I think we can stop here. We can stop